reformist candidate Masoud Pezeshkian has won the runoff in the country's presidential election.
He bested hardliner Saeed Jalili by almost 3 million votes, with his supporters celebrating on the streets of the capital, Tehran. Negar Partow is a senior fellow at the Centre for the Study of the Middle East at Indiana University. She joins me now. Thanks so much for your time, Negar. Now, with Masoud Pezeshkian as Iran's new president, the only candidate there in the race that was considered to be more moderate and more of a reformist, what will it look like for him to be a reformist president in Iran?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me today. I think the victory of this round of election was actually dedicated to the people of Iran who didn't go to voting, and their notably low turnout for voting in this election showed that they are hugely discontent with the regime and both of the candidates. However, internally and domestically, we don't have that much hope to see a radical change. There's no indication that women's rights situation would be better, or there was no discussions about freedom of religion, freedom of speech, taking a better approach to situations in universities, freeing political prisoners. So there's no discussions of that. But it seems that the main point and the main goal of this election, particularly for Khamenei, was international affairs and the way that Iran is supposed to deal with the international community in the next 4 years.
Masoud Pezeshkian has promised not to challenge the supreme leader on any direction of the country. So how much actual change, including on the international front, will he be able to make?
Definitely nothing that Khamenei would not agree, but it seems that Khamenei has this hope because there is a serious lack of legitimacy internally, and we can see that Iranians use every opportunity to show their discontent to the world. There is much more reliance in this term on the international affairs and hopefully releasing the sanction. So as you know, Canada introduced the Revolutionary Guards in June 2024 as a terrorist organization. And there is a major concern in the Islamic Republic that other countries follow suit, particularly now that the world knows about discontent in Iran. So what they are hoping to do, and what particularly Khamenei has planned to do, is to bring centralist reforms, because Masoud Pezeshkian was never a very left-wing liberal reformist, so he's a centralist reformist, and the idea is to reinstate Javad Zarif because there was promise and there was discussion in the debates to bring back the 2015 nuclear agreement, the Joint Comprehensive Plan on Action. It seems that the idea is to bring Zarif to soften the relationship with the United States, maybe even negotiate indirectly through the mediation of Oman with the United States, and however lobbying with both Biden Democratic parties, but also with affiliates with ex-President Trump's in case that the governments in United States changes. Of course, in the last 10 years, we have seen that European countries often follow suit with United States. So there is an assumption that if we can resolve our problems, well, the regime can resolve its problems with the United States and take some of the sanctions away, and that gives them a little bit of breathing space, and it buys them time to deal with the serious matter of lack of legitimacy internally. Doesn't seem to be very effective, but that's what the plan is supposed to be.
Negar, there were big problems with low voter turnout this election. That's despite the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, saying that high voter turnout was essential. He said that it was critical for the durability, resilience, strength and dignity of Iran. Why did so few people turn out to vote?
This shows that people of Iran are completely disillusioned with the hope of reform. There has been a gradual and accumulated demands from the civil society that has been ignored through consecutive governments. So through the system internally, and the structure of the system does not allow reform. So it doesn't matter what kind of president you have. There might be some slight differences in policies, but there will be nothing can be changed fundamentally. And people show this by not participating in this election, that they understand the problem is actually in the structure of the Islamic Republic and the centralization of power in the position of the jurisprudential leadership that doesn't allow any organization, any political movements, or any even political parties within the system to act for reform. As you remember, we had Mohammad Khatami, who tried to reform, and he was not successful because Khamenei didn't allow the change. And through the consecutive governments, every time there was discussions with new approach to foreign affairs or new approach, or actually giving people some form of political and social freedoms, Khamenei and his supporters stopped that. Now, in the first act that Pezeshkian did was that he cancelled his very important and scheduled interview in Tehran and said that he has a meeting with Khamenei, which signals to the people that his priority is submission to the rule of the jurisprudential leader rather than to highlight the voice of the people of Iran, which is actually his duty. Stated in the constitution. But also he went to the tomb of Khomeini and he performed his first speech in the tomb of Khomeini, which means that he does not really want to show that he prioritizes or have a huge fight or changes anything in the structure of the system. This is much more for ironing out some of the differences from within the ruling system rather than have anything to do with people. In fact, I think as we grow and as we go through this government system, we can see a widened gap between the Islamic Republic and between the people of Iran.
Negar Partow, we really appreciate your insights this morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.